Yes, I can hear and see you. This is very strange. This light box. Oh, thank you. Okay. Oh, not so much. I didn't make fine furniture. I made troughs for animals mostly. Very basic tables and chairs for people like me who could afford nothing else. The yokes I made for the oxen were my best work, but no, the kind of carpentry I did, truth be told, was crude work. No one looked up to carpenters like me in those days. I ranked right down there with the shepherds, and believe me, that was pretty low. Royal lineage, that and $5 will get you a cup of coffee. Yes, I was a distant descendant of King David, but it brought me no advantages of any kind. We were very poor, often without a home. I often had to travel to other towns simply to find work, if there was any. But most of the people where we lived, when we lived, had little, if anything. Most of the people were very, very poor, like us, and very oppressed. Oh, yes, of course. I loved her very much, you know. We were engaged, not as people in your world, in your time, get engaged. Our engagements were like the first year of marriage, though we lived apart in our families' homes, our separate families' homes, and there was certainly no intercourse. But suddenly one day, Mary tells me she is pregnant. I was devastated, of course. I felt betrayed, confused, angry, so many emotions, and none of them good. I could have publicly humiliated her. I could have even had her put to death. But I loved her, and I didn't want any harm to come to her. I decided the best thing I could do in the midst of all these emotions was to divorce her quietly, to turn her back over to her family. But very soon, an angel from God came to me in a dream telling me something strange, that Mary's pregnancy was God's will brought about by a miracle. Not only that, I was told that the baby she would give birth to would bring freedom to his people, would save them from their sins. I was still confused, still frightened, you can imagine, even more than before, but I believed. I believed Mary. I believed God. So I was no longer angry with Mary, and I understood she needed me more than ever. She and the baby needed me. And God needed me. Oh, no. Our troubles were just beginning. We were required to go and register for the census. And traveling with a pregnant woman in our day was very difficult. But we made it, and Mary gave birth to our wonderful son, Jesus. But there were those who feared this baby would become a political threat to them. King Herod, most of all, wanted Jesus dead. Yes, once again, God came to me. This time the messenger warned me of the plot to kill Jesus and told me to take my young family out of the country until Herod himself had died. Yes, we went to Egypt until once more in a dream God told me it was safe, that Herod was dead. Of course, His son, Herod's son, was now the king, and that didn't work out so well for Jesus either. Well, young man, I hate to cut this short, but it is late, and all this talk of dreams is making me a bit tired. It was nice to talk with you. Good night.